Good afternoon, and welcome to our 2025 Freeman Reunion Homecoming Parents Weekend. I'm Amy Adato Freeman, and I earned my MBA from Tulane in 1995, and now I serve on Dean Goy's Business School Council. And I also have the honor of representing Louisiana in House District 98, which includes Tulane. So I'm a state legislator, believe it or not, which I never thought would happen 30 years ago. But it is, and I'm coming into my 7th year of service in the legislature. But I would like to recognize any of the fellow reunion classmates from anywhere from the 5th class to the 50th. If you'd raise your hands, I'd like to celebrate all those of you who came back to campus. And of course, my classmates are on the back row. I see you. And when I was here, there was 122 of us in the MBA class, so hopefully we can keep ratcheting that up because we had a great class with lots of international students, and some of them have flown in from London, Pakistan, and other places to be here today for my class. So, my time here at Tulane is still really special to me because of the classmates that I've made, the connections I have internationally, but also because of the degree I earned really put me on my path for my career today. And I have my own consulting company. I do strategy for anything from a early stage startup. HSBC has also been a bank in Louisiana. I work with a lot of partner-owned and family-owned businesses, but my MBA has kind of took me on that trajectory of going out on my own. And I'm so thankful for the degree that I earned 30 years ago. So I'm grateful that Tulane is putting these events together because my undergraduate institution has done this for many years, and they always do it in June. And I was one of the ones pushing the team, like, we need to have a reunions weekend so people know when to come. So it's great that it's happening. This program, just so you know, is being live streamed and recorded. So when you reach out, if you want to ask a question, we have Jenny and Lucy. They're going to bring you a microphone so that anybody who might be listening in could hear your question. And I'm going to turn it over to Dean Paulo Goys as he delivers his State of the School address. He's been here with us since 2021 at the A.B. Freeman School of Business, and he comes from the University of Arizona. And he's been a great partner and leader, and I've been very impressed working with him with his strategic plan that he came in and worked on almost immediately. The first meeting I had with him before he even asked me to be on the business council was all about his strategic plan, and so that just rang a lot of good bells in my ears, and I know you probably can't wait to hear from him, so let's welcome Dean Goys.
Thank you, Representative Arado Freeman. Pleasure to have you here with us. You missed the meeting this morning, right?
It's election tomorrow.
I know. I'm just kidding. You're always present in everything that we do. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Let me see a show of hands. How many of you are parents? Okay. Parents of current students. How many of you, you asked the reunion alums who are also parents? Okay. So we have a great group here. How many of you are alums that are not part of any round number reunion? Okay, so we have a great group here. So my job today is to give you an idea of what's going on in the school, where we are and where we're going to go, and all the amazing things that are happening. And I'm going to start, before I get into that, a little bit about myself. As Amy said, I've been here for 4 years. This is my year number 5. I came in 2021, August, just 3 days before Hurricane Ida hit. So that was a great welcome by New Orleans to the new guy, right? But I quickly picked up on what we have to do in hurricanes, and Tulane did a great job with the recovery. But I've been here for 4 years. Before that, I was at the University of Arizona. I went there as a faculty member. My area is information systems and technology. Then I became department head of the MIS, Management Information Systems Group. Then, as things turned out, I became dean at the Eller College of Management. I did that for almost 6 years. And it was middle of COVID, 2021. I was getting frustrated, and I thought I needed to do something different. So a headhunter one day called me and said, "Oh, Tulane is looking for a new dean. Why don't you consider that?" And I thought, well, I don't know. Then I talked to my wife, and my wife said, "Yeah, we should go." So you always have to listen to your wife, right? So I came for the interview, and the place felt so right for me because I thought all the ingredients of a great business school were already here. Experiential learning focus is something that I really believe has to be part of what we do in a business school. And we already had some programs in place, including the Buchenroad Report. Everybody knows what Buchenroad Reports is. It's a wonderful program that was started by our faculty member, Peter Ricciuti, about 30 plus years ago. And the idea of the program is to really have students experience being equity analysts, being analysts of public companies. And we work with companies in the state or in the Gulf South, and our students go deep and analyze the whole operations, and they kind of evaluate those companies. And that has been going on for a long time. It has been displayed in Wall Street Journal and New York Times. And so the idea of having students working on real projects with real companies, that was already ingrained in the fabric of Tulane. And my background being technology, I always thought, well, technology moves fast. And the faster we move, the faster these waves of transformation come at you, the more you need to teach in a way that ties what we do in academia with practice. Because sometimes we have to learn together with industry because things are so new, and they'll talk about AI, what's going on. There will be a panel about AI after that. It's very similar to what happened in the dot-com boom, right? Late 1990s, internet was the thing, right? And everybody was investing heavily and changing the world, the e-commerce, e-business, all those things. And then a lot of uncertainty about the future because jobs were being eliminated. But on the other hand, new jobs were being created. Took a few years for the economies to adapt to the new transformational wave brought by that technology. And I think that same phenomenon is happening now with AI. There is something that in the industry we call the productivity paradox, which is everybody feels they're more productive because they can go to ChatGPT and write a paper faster. That's what the students here do, right? Or research something about a specific company faster, aggregate the information faster, feel more productive, more efficient. But on the other hand, the investments in AI by companies, they haven't generated returns. So that's the paradox. Everybody feels productivity is enhancing, is moving up, but the returns on investment takes time. But they will come and they'll come because companies and organizations are going to be leveraging the technology to improve or to change or to modify their business processes, their organizational structure. They'll get used to work together, humans and AI. And that part is more difficult, but it's going to come. That's inevitable. And you see the amount of investment that is going on by big companies, by small companies, by VCs, by private equity. Everybody is jumping on that bandwagon. So it will come. And toward the end of my presentation, I'll talk a little bit about what we are doing to anticipate what's coming that AI is bringing to us. And there will be a panel following that. So that has been my journey. I got a PhD in business from the University of Rochester, upstate New York, took code, all that late effect snow, and the temperatures. My wife and I are both from Brazil. I came here for my PhD and brought her along, and then convinced her to stay. And she said, as long as you take me to a warmer climate. So it was 1990 when I graduated, and the market for faculty was not that hot. So I actually got a job offer from the University of Wisconsin at Madison, and she said, no way, I'm not going to go there. Then I convinced her that I got a job offer from the University of Connecticut in Storrs, Connecticut, and I convinced her it was warmer than Rochester, less snow, and I showed her that the historical temperatures 5 degrees warmer than average in Rochester, but it was, of course, there. And I tried to convince her, Connecticut has the 4 seasons, it's an hour and a half to Boston, 2 hours to New York City. In the summer, you can go to the beach in Rhode Island. In the winter, you can go skiing in New Hampshire and Vermont. So, but it didn't convince her too much. So from there, I went to Arizona because it was desert and warm and blue sky. So, and she was happy. So that has been my personal journey, but always in the information systems field, which is a fast-moving field. I've been through those waves of transformation since I started in 1990. Went from mainframes and COBOL programming. You remember that, right? And all the way to client server, the internet, distributed systems, and then platform that connect suppliers to consumers, and the Ubers of the world, and all the things. Social media came, and it's one thing after the other, one wave after the other, which aligns well with Tulane's theme of waves, right? So we have to be riding those waves as they come, and that's what we do here in the Freeman School. So how is the school doing? I think the school is doing very well. If you take the undergraduate program, who are the parents of undergraduate students? So you probably get some feel for what's going on in the Freeman School. I got this table here last week, which tells it's about data from the university census. Sometime in October, they look at each school and how many students you have there. And I particularly look at the freshman students that joined Tulane this fall. And we got 685 freshmen who declared business as their major. And that number has been growing. I mean, when I came 4 years ago, it was in the 500s. Now it's 685, almost 700. And then I did the math. That is about 37% of the freshmen admitted by Tulane declared themselves business majors. And I'm happy with that because every business that has excess demand is a good business, right? The thing is how to deliver what we do to those students. But we got used to react. Tulane has this wonderful, I think, flexible approach to admissions. You can come, declare any major. Once you're here, you can change. And that's what the students do. They try to prevent students that declare business, try to manage that. But you know, students, your children, they're smart, right? And some of them declared other major, and when they came, they switched to business. So anything that they did to prevent business students to come, it didn't work. But the business students are great. I was looking at another statistics, which is yield, which means what's the percent of students that get offers from Tulane and accept the offer. And business has the highest yield. 71% of the students who got offers to join Tulane as a business student, they came, which to me is very rewarding, right? It means that we have our brand is getting out there. People know that Freeman is a great quality school, and they come. And that's the feeling that I have when I go and to participate in different alumni events all over the country. I meet with parents, and people are very happy with what we're putting together here. But it's a big responsibility, right? 685 students. If there is a new some attrition, people may move out or may they change majors. But every year, I have to think about how to place 600 plus students, which is not easy, right? I have to think about internships, career development, train them, but, and that's part, I believe that's part of what a business school should do. A business school is not only teaching courses, not only teaching statistics or accounting or finance, it's the whole experience. And I like to talk about the Freeman experience. Once you enter through our doors, you get great faculty teaching great courses, but you also get a lot of engagement with student clubs, a lot of engagement with career services, and opportunities to do study abroad, which is a big part of what Tulane is. We have this international desire to allow students to give them opportunities to go abroad. And it's a lot of our students that go abroad. It's funny because I mentioned that I came here in 2021, tail end of COVID. So the next year, 2022, we restarted the study abroad program. And because of the pent-up demand during COVID, people couldn't go and study abroad. Suddenly, I had 400 students who wanted to go and study abroad between juniors and seniors. So the seniors who missed the opportunity, the juniors who wanted to go. And the way that study abroad works, we have these reciprocity arrangements and partnerships with universities all over the world. We have university in Madrid, in Barcelona, in Italy, in Europe, Australia, South America, Asia. And we didn't have enough reciprocity spots to place all those 400 students. And so people came to me, this is the problem. We only have 250 spots. How can we going to place 400 students? And being someone with a technical background, I thought, well, let's do some load balancing. Let's take 400 students, there are 200 in the fall, 200 in the spring. And they said, you are new to New Orleans, right? What about Mardi Gras? So students don't go and study abroad in the spring, they go in the fall. So I had to scramble, and thankfully, the New Tulane College, they also have the study abroad program, and they helped me. We ended up placing 350, some of them were convinced to delay, but at least we got them going. So this is something we do in the business school. We present all these opportunities for students to enhance their life, their careers, their experience here. It's the classroom plus everything else that happens outside the classroom. I mentioned experiential learning, which when I came for my interview first time, I was very impressed with Buchenwald reports. And I thought we had to really expand opportunities, not only in finance, but in marketing, in management, consulting, all the things, all the industries that we could. And we started to create opportunities for students to practice this concept of experiential learning. At the MBA level, we created a second-year course that's called Impact Consulting, which we pair up teams of our students with organizations. We sit down with them, and they come up with ideas or problems that they don't have the bandwidth at that point to work on, and the students love to take that up. We are currently this semester, we are running that program. We have wonderful projects, and the criteria is they have to be meaningful projects. They have to allow learning to happen, and they have to add value to the company. So it's a win-win across the board. So this semester, we're able to get the projects that are strategic in nature, and that's where MBAs are the best, right? Because I love MBAs and MBA students because you connect dots. You think strategically. You don't necessarily go deep into one area, but you kind of put everything together. So we have wonderful programs, wonderful projects. We are helping LCMC, deciding on some specific area. We are helping Entergy decide on different things they want to do. We worked on a project for the Port of New Orleans also. So all of those are very exciting projects. And I see Brent Rosen sitting in the back there. He's our assistant dean for corporate relations. He's at the forefront of sourcing these projects. He goes and talks to people, and we bring them in. We also have, at the undergraduate level, we have a course that happens in the senior year, which is the capstone project. Every student, those 600 plus students who graduate, each one of them have to be in a capstone class. And in the capstone class, we run projects. They are not as comprehensive or strategic as some of the MBA projects are, but they provide students with that experience of being consultants solving a specific business problem. And we have to do that for 600 students. So we try different formats, and it's working well. And so the whole notion of experiential learning got up as wildfire. Everybody wants to do it. And I'm so happy that we are accomplishing that, because the more the world changes, the more AI is going to change things, or technology change things, the more we need to have our hands around practical implications of that. And that's the key to have a great business school. Again, business education is what we do in the classroom plus what we do outside the classroom. And we have created plenty of opportunities for that to happen. A very important key element for getting this whole idea moving forward is connecting with alumni. Because the alumni are the ones who know who we are very loyal and proud of what they did here. And I love the Tulane alumni. When I was in Arizona, I thought the alumni there were the most excited about the place, most enthusiastic. And then I came to Tulane, and I thought, oh, those wildcats are nothing. The Tulane alumni are the real deal, because you come back, you offer to help, you offer to mentor students. We have a program that we started with the Career Management Center, which is called Executive in Residence Program. We have, I think, 30 alumni who are top executives in their companies, and they volunteer to mentor our students, to spend 3, 4, 5, 10 hours a month, depending on their availability, to actually talk to students, Zoom call with them, and help them understand what's next in their career progression. So that program is working very well, and the alumni are key. If we want to develop partnerships, get projects, get pipelines to employ students, we have to rely on our alumni who are going to be our champions. And this is happening. We have a very strong finance area in the school. I told you about 685 students coming. Half of those want to be in finance. And so about 300 plus students in finance every year. And out of those 300 plus students, I would say 50 want to be in investment banking, which is a very tough nut to crack. To get placed in an investment bank like Goldman Sachs or some of the big firms, you have to, I was listening to the presentation today, you have to start as freshmen, engaging with our student club, engaging with alumni who can help you, try to get, sometimes the companies come here to interview sophomores in their first semester, right now in the fall, to offer them internships a year from now. So the whole thing is, but we do rely on our alums to create, to foster these relationships. But if you're not going to, if your children or the students are not going to go into, they want to be in finance, but not necessarily investment banking, there are plenty of opportunities that we also allow and help students go after them. But investment bank, some people love that. The glamour of being in New York, working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and claiming, okay, I survived New York investment bank for 2 years, right? And then they move to something else. But some of them stay there, and those are the ones that I meet when I go to New York, and they really help us. So our undergraduate program, again, I think we developed a great program, great tracks, great additional extracurricular engagement. And the other thing that we did was we are organized traditionally into, you come as a business school student, you are a finance major, accounting major, marketing major, management major, legal studies major. But the thing is, many students wanted to have industry experience. They wanted to come here and say, I want to be in the real estate industry, or I want to be in sports management as an industry, or I want to be in the hospitality industry. So we developed what we call certificates that you can add to the major or minor. It's a 4-course sequence, 12 credits, and they are about industry. So the real estate certificate will cover different aspects of real estate investment and real estate finance. The sports management certificate will cover aspects like sports marketing, sports finance. I think we're developing sports analytics. That's still kind of in work. So these are all related to the industry. And we started them a year ago, and I think we have close to 200 students already. It's a little tricky because if a student comes to be a business major, you need to take 124 credits. And out of those 124 credits, you have 12 credits of free electives. So we're trying to tell students, instead of taking basket weaving somewhere else or floral arrangement somewhere else, you come and take 12 credits of our certificate programs. That will enhance your, but not every student is convinced about that, right? And I like the flexibility. I like to give options. But those who want to specialize in an industry, we have hospitality, energy, sports management, real estate. We started a certificate in analytics and AI, and they're putting together a certificate in investment banking to address the needs for those students. And those are growing, and I expect them to grow even more. We did a couple of other things with our undergraduate program. As I told you, the demand for business majors is growing. But I thought, well, a lot of students don't necessarily want to be a business major. They want to know some business because they know they'll need it if they start their company, if they are in art and they run a studio, if they publish a book and they want to negotiate the rights or whatever. So we established now, it's going to launch a year from now, a minor in business, so which is open to every other student on campus. So if you are in engineering and you want to do some business, if you are in public health, you want to do some business, if you are in social work, no, we don't have undergraduate social work, but if you are in liberal arts and you want to do some business, you're going to have a sequence of finance, accounting, marketing, strategy, management, HR, so that people will be equipped to understand the language of business and how to be a business person, how to interact with business folks. So that is growing. We also launched one of the strengths of our undergraduate of our Freeman School in general is entrepreneurship and innovation. We have the LePage Center for Entrepreneurship. So many students, it's funny because I talk to the students who join and they're interested in entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? It's the creation of a company. You'll be the owning that company and moving it forward for some time. And what happens is many students come here, maybe you have some of those as your children. They already launched companies in high school. And they come here. I already have this idea, already kind of, I buy products from China on Amazon and I resell them. So and those kids, they love the idea of being entrepreneurs. And even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you take a job in a company, corporation, those skills of taking an idea to the market and understanding the feasibility of that idea, is there a consumer acceptance for that idea, what is involved in launching it, it's very important. So we teach entrepreneurship classes, and we also have a minor in entrepreneurship, which will help students who potentially would want to be related to a company, to a venture. It helps them there. The entrepreneurship program is an exciting program. We have, I don't know if you saw some signs outside. We have Pitch Fridays. So if students have ideas about companies, they can work with our staff, our faculty, and then every Friday they compete with other students in the Pitch Friday competition. And once a month, we have a bigger competition, then we actually award cash prizes to the students. So that's going on. It's kind of a great element of what we do. We also host a national competition for companies and ideas, business models. And every April, we bring, we get more than 100 applications from all over the country, including from Tulane itself. And every April, we select about 12 of those, and we have a 2-day competition here. And the company that win, they get real cash prizes. We give about $125,000 between first prize, second prize, and third prize. And I always like to, we don't do any home cooking, we don't do preference, make preference to Tulane companies, but I always enjoy the fact when Tulane companies kind of win something. So last year, the company that won was a combination of a Tulane, I believe, MBA student with University of Chicago medical student. And they came from high school. They went to the same high school, and they talked about that. A high school in Connecticut, so I knew about Lyme disease being a big thing in Connecticut. So they developed a diagnostic test for Lyme disease. So if you catch the tick from your dog, or maybe you're walking in the woods, you can test it with a very simple test kit. And with a very high reliability, you can detect and determine if that tick is contaminated or not. So it's a great idea that the students brought. We help them structure it from a business perspective, how to assess the market size for that, what you need to do to move things forward, how do you do proof of concept, and they won, I think, second prize. So I think those things happen, and it's open. I mean, the competitions are open to everybody. So students now, at the undergraduate level, they have to be on campus for their junior year. So if they still don't have anything to do at night, they can come here participate in the competition. But that has kind of changed a little bit the culture of the university, because now we have more people around here when they're not studying. If they were going to rent their own houses and spread all over the city, you lose them. After class, they drive back to. So there are the two sides of things. I can see the value of allowing students to be on their own when they become juniors. That's part of becoming adults, right? You're paying your own bills, you finding places to rent. But on the other hand, I think it's also valuable if you keep them on campus and in a safe environment, and they can have fun here. But the funny thing is that this year, the first time that we have all these beautiful new dorms here down the road, the first time that that rule was in place. And the students found a loophole, those who didn't want to stay here. They found that if they went and study abroad this fall, when they come back, they don't need to be on campus. So the demand for study abroad again spiked up, right? So because of kind of a rule that unintended consequences, right? That's what I would call it. So I think our undergraduate programs are doing very well. I'm very proud of what's happening. So let's talk about the graduate programs. We do have a number of graduate programs. How many of you are alums from the MBA program? Full-time MBA, executive MBA, professional MBA. So we have all these different modalities of MBA programs. We launched, as part of the strategic plan we put in place, we launched the online MBA as well. I felt coming here that we needed to have that as part of our portfolio of programs, because a lot of working professionals, they really want to be online. And people are different, right? Some people want to complete the courses. They're going to help them kind of enhance their career prospects, advancing their careers. And they don't care if they are on campus or not. They care about a good education. They care about a good school. And we launched our program, and we already have 92 students in the program. The fact that we have an online program also allows us to use the content that now is digitized and hybridize some of the other programs. So those of you who went through the executive MBA, it still is every other weekend. And the module that the faculty teach consists of 5 weekends. So every other weekend, it's great if people love to come to campus and they love to participate in the activities with their cohort and the study groups and the projects. But life has become more complicated, right? So we are now going to test offering, instead of 5 weekends, students will come here weekend 1, weekend 3, and weekend 5. And the other 2 weekends in the middle, they're going to do online, both asynchronous, but also one session that is synchronous through Zoom. So that would bring students to campus for that executive MBA only once a month instead of twice a month. And we feel that we're trying, because if we ask the current students, they don't like it because they came here for the twice a week. But if you ask students that are considering, they're open to the idea of coming once a week. So we're going to test in 2 classes this coming spring to check. But I think it's going to be successful because now we can cater to a wider geography. We can bring students here who live in a 2-hour driving distance from Baton Rouge, or even west of Baton Rouge, all the way to Mobile and Jackson, Mississippi. And what's happening with the executive MBA, maybe that already happened when some of you took that program. People fly here. They fly here. New Orleans has direct flights to a number of locations in the country, and they fly here on Friday, they go back Sunday. The other interesting thing I found is I had a meeting with the current class of executive MBA students, and there was this guy who is a doctor, a medical doctor, and he lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. So you fly here every other weekend. Why didn't you go to my old school, University of Arizona or ASU? No, I come here because my son is a sophomore. And I come to spend time with him. and I'm taking this course. I thought, well, that's an interesting market, right? Leslie already tuned in for that, and we're going to have a campaign for parents of students and say, have you thought about an executive MBA program? And then you come and you visit with the child, and but that's the beauty of especially MBA programs. You have to meet the students where they are, with flexibility, with access. If they like full-time, they come full-time. If they like to stay where they are, they stay where they are. If they like to come only a few times during the semester, we can do that too. But it took us some time because we had the programs, historically, they were developed separately. So they're almost little silos in terms of number of credits, in terms of classes. We are now in this major effort of consolidating and standardizing the number of credits and all these things. But they're going well. I am a big believer that the market for MBA is growing faster at the working professional level than at the full-time level. The full-time level, Amy said in her opening remarks, she had 120 classmates, right? 126.
No, I think it was 22.
Well, yeah, so it had all those students. Yeah. But after Katrina, it took us a while to recover, and then the whole economy changed, and we currently have, 25 students in our full-time MBA class. I want to move it back to at least 35, close to 40, because 25 companies don't even come here to recruit, right? Because you don't have the critical mass. But we do a great job, our career management center, to reach out to companies and provide those connections. The interesting thing about the full-time MBA population is they want to be in New Orleans. That was the main reason why they pursued a two-lane MBA. And then you have to work with the local companies to provide those opportunities. So in addition to MBA, we have full-time programs in analytics and AI, full-time program in finance, full-time program in accounting, and a full-time program in energy management. And those are reasonably well. Energy is the one that is really blooming. It's growing. It's a full-time program. And the students come and we teach them the business of energy, investment in energy sources, how to trade energy securities and commodity trading. We have just across from here have our trade floor. We just got a $1.5 million gift to upgrade that facility. So, and energy has become, I joke with people who are in the energy program, it was a boring industry. Now it's a sexy industry. People want to, because it's part of everything, right? With the AI data centers, the amount of energy, electricity that they will require, electrification of everything from cars to all kinds of components. And then a lot of progress has been made with green energy and carbon sequestration. And Louisiana is at the center of all of that. So it's a very important area for us. And we had only very few business schools who have, which have energy as a specialization, or energy as a theme. So it's a big area for us, and we're going to invest more and more into that. So I know that how I'm doing with time.
2 questions?
Yeah, I have time for a couple questions. So, but I hope that you stick around for the weekend. We have our tent. I can tell you, traditionally, it's the most popular tent because our food is great and we don't run out of beer. So it's, but this time around, they placed it all the way on the other side, right? So you have to walk a little harder to reach us. So.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about a 4+1 program?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. That is something that we are launching this coming year. The idea is our market is our current undergraduate students at Tulane. And the idea is if they want to stick around for another year and get a master's program from the Freeman School, we facilitate that. We work with the students to align the curriculum. And many students are going to that. Accounting we already had that. It's a 5-year program, 4+1, but all of them Freeman schools, Freeman students. The 4+1, the new version of 4+1 is open to all students on campus. So if an engineering student or a liberal arts student or economic student, and they want to spend another time, of course, they're relying that parents are going to fund them, or maybe financial aid sometimes can extend to that 5th year, but it's going to be available.
Can you tell us where the graduates from Tulane Business School go after they leave this bucolic setting?
Yes, at the undergraduate level, we graduate 600 plus students. And when they come here, only 17% come from the state of Louisiana. 83% come from outside the state. Number 1 state is New York State. I think 19% come from New York State, followed by California, followed by Louisiana. So they tend to gravitate back to where they came from. And what happens is we have to place all these students, right? And as you know, New Orleans doesn't have big corporations anymore. Entergy is the only Fortune 500 company that is here. We place a lot of students in Houston, and we place a lot of students in Atlanta, and many students in the Northeast, depending on what they want to do, or Chicago, or back to California. They go back to all kinds of places. At the graduate level, as I mentioned, the MBA graduates, they love to stay here. They love and we have been working with local companies to employ them. But that's the dynamic of what's happening. I mean, I get that question all the time. Why can't they stay here, our undergraduates? And in my mind, the key for more students to stay here is to get them internships here. So then they will be more used to living in New Orleans. They would be more comfortable with the setup of the city. They would be making local connections. So we have to develop all these connections to internships, which I think will open doors for full-time employment.
Are there any specific industries that they gravitate towards?
Finance, because half of our students are in finance area, so financial services is a big one. Accounting firms, we place our students in the big 4 accounting companies. I want, because our students are so good, I marvel at when I talk to them. They're so smart, they're so broad in their thinking, they're very creative, they're young and energetic. I feel that they can be great in consulting as an industry. So we are developing a consulting track to prepare students to interview with consulting companies. Just to give you an idea, McKinsey has started to come to campus to recruit from our students. But I would love to have Bain and Boston Group and all the big names, as well as specialty consulting companies. But they go everywhere. I mean, they can go to distribution company, consumer goods. But because of the sheer number of finance students, they tend to go to the financial services, banking, corporate finance, investment banking. Investment banking is a hard industry to go. You have to really, from freshman level, the students have to be determined, this is what I want to do. Because the companies are going crazy. They're coming here to recruit freshmen and sophomores. And then the other thing that's happening is the private equity companies, they don't recruit out of college, but they recruit out of investment banking experience. So they come here and they identify the high-performing student and they say, go and work for this investment bank. 2 years later, come and work for us. So it's almost like having a tandem recruiting process. But the thing is, our students are amazing, and I really enjoy having them around. So,
Paulo, we're at time, but thank you.
okay. Kicked out of the room. Thank you so much.